knew there was something missing. Headset. Right, left. Ooh. You're working, okay. What was the thing I wanted to do? That's actually the focus, not the exposure. There we go. How's work? All right. So this is Road to Computex number 2, and the first stream in this hotel room. Last stream was in Japan. Now it's Taipei. Fell asleep halfway through AI Tech Summit. I don't know. I suppose that's a good thing, depending on how much sleep you need. Yeah. So even though the desk here is really large, the limiting factor is I've got my laptop in front of me, and I can place the laptop wherever I want on the desk, but then the output of the streaming rig, I'm kind of tied to the TV in the hotel room, which is tied to like this bench style thing. So I've rotated it as much as possible, and I've put the laptop as close as possible to it, but it's still kind of a bit of a stretch to look across. But hopefully it sort of runs itself. So I have, in order to exert some sort of control over it, I have Input Director, which is a really cool application which lets you sort of automatically share keyboard and mouse between systems. And thankfully that port isn't blocked on the Wi-Fi, on the hotel Wi-Fi. So I'm able to go across there and hit some buttons if I need to. It should sort of run itself. And other than that, I'm going to be mostly working on my laptop. And I'm also capping the laptop into the streaming rig as just a further way of avoiding having to touch it, basically. And then there's the stream decks in front of me. Yeah, so for those who didn't watch the last stream, what's sort of important? So I'm in the process of configuring my setup. I've got, just a small recap, I've got 4 out of my 5 cameras with me. I've got the streaming rig, which currently has a slight overclock on it. Last time I streamed on it, it was literally just fully stock. So it's got like just spare M die in it, and the iGPU is active, so that sort of limits RAM overclocks anyway. But the M die is 2021, I think. Why don't I get a bigger stream deck? There is such a thing as the Stream Deck XL. Okay, let's actually just Google that. The short answer is money. Okay, so that worked. So this is sort of an odd thing where I'm capping the laptop that's in front of me instead of just capping the browser window on the streaming rig. But it does sort of serve to unload some of the burden on the rig that's working the most. Ads, be right back. Oh, okay, so that's a whole other thing. Okay, in the ad break, I can only recommend a dried hawthorn fruit as a way of getting vitamins. So I did come down with a bit of something, I don't know what, man flu, I guess, last night, and I was trying to nip it in the bud. So it was just a bit of a scratchy throat, the sniffles, nothing major. And I went to 7-Eleven, as you do in Asia, because that's, always nearby and always open and stuff. And yeah, I got some dried hawthorn. I got some dried mangoes, which were really yummy. I ate all of those already. I got some Ricola, whatever it's called, for my throat. I got some vitamin C tablets. I got some orange juice and some fresh fruit, like bits of fresh fruit to eat. So that was my dinner basically. But I'm feeling better today. But you can probably still tell from my voice. We back. Okay. Yeah. I there is that is something. I mean, we're what is it today? Thursday. The first streaming day from Computex will be Tuesday, so I do have a long weekend to sort out the ad break thing because I do realize that ads are more and more frequent on Twitch now, and I do realize that not everyone is a sub, and what I aim to do is like more like scheduled ad breaks. So hit a button, but if, in order to do that, I need to configure it on my Stream Decks. So, um, why three small Stream Decks? Well, it's born out of the fact that I started off with the Mini, the 6 key one. I thought that was enough, and it was actually enough for a couple of years. And the resale value isn't great, so I've hung on to that. So it's like free, if you know what I mean. But after last year's Computex stream, I bought a 15. So I bought this one. So that's the reason I have those two. Now, if we go back to this, I believe this is this Aussie or US dollars? This is US dollars. Can we go to global? I guess I'll have to go to Static Ice. That's usually my price comparison site. Significant ouch. What's the ouch? Oh, the ads. Stream Deck XL. That should get me results, right? Sometimes these results are incorrect though. I would believe the 300s. So yeah, so used availability of the XL is poor. So you're paying new versus old, used. So you'd be paying 350 ish. I already had the 6 key. I didn't feel like I needed 32. And I actually do like the fact that I can break things down. So I'll have the 15 key for scene switching and muting my mic only. And then I might have the 6 key for replays and another 6 key for. I mean, eventually I'd like to buy Elgato streaming lights where you can change the LED color and stuff using the Stream Deck. But the 6 key, maybe I won't be able to populate it this year. I won't find some use for it. But yeah. So let's say the 15 key might have been $120 or something like that. The last one that I bought. Okay, I don't know if I was being rate limited there or what. hopefully it doesn't happen again. I've just reduced the bitrate to stay under the radar. I mean, my 5G, my eSIM is pretty good. It's just okay. Let me switch to something that isn't just an infinite loop of me. Okay, so that was the Stream Decks. Let's see. What else is there to talk about? Let's just get my input director back up, hopefully. Now you know my IP address. Oh my god. You're gonna hack me. Okay, so I did want to, just in case any sound bleeds through, I need to mute one more. Okay. So, Nylik, or whatever your name is, you asked about how the software manages Stream Decks. So this is the software. This is the cool thing about capping the secondary rig, actually. Because I connecting to that IP. Yeah, just make sure you're in the exact same hotel as me, and then you can hijack my rig because there's no password on there. Spoiler alert. Okay, so this is the Stream Deck software. You can rename your Stream Decks. So I've renamed the main one slightly, and then the mini and the Discord edition. It's kind of obvious because one of them is blue and one of them is black. You can have multiple pages. You can. I did this on a reel as well, but I'll just run through. Oh, it won't show, of course. Okay, that's where things fall down. I can. Yeah, I just can't demonstrate this right now unless I. Anyway, yeah. So it's you know it's each of them has its own profile. You can export and import its own profiles, and the plugin architecture is insanely good, complex, easy to use. Any pre-G-Skill plans in Taiwan? Just this kind of thing looks adequate. No, it's really good. So it's ooh, what if I? This is a bit of shameless self-promotion, but what if I play back the Instagram reel or whatever they're called that I put up about this? Okay. This input is muted, so oh god, how do I how do I like show that? Things are so complicated. Maybe I can full screen more easily when I'm on Facebook rather than Instagram. Where is it? Okay. Will this full screen? Oh, well, it's still vertical, but my goodness, like, is this as big as it gets? No, I don't. I want the opposite of picture in picture. I want fully pictured. This is bizarre. I can't even watch back my own videos. But you see the. I'm not going to put on the sound. You'll get the idea, I guess. So this is how I have it configured pretty much. So when I press the button, it lights up yellow. It looks kind of white there, but it lights up yellow to show the active scene. So basically, you can load in any PNG or JPEG, GIF as well, I think, as both the picture for when it's inactive as well as active. You can choose to show some text, like the name of the scene or not. So for the ones where I don't have like a proper sort of icon yet that I'll be able to tell what it is, I have included the text, and for the ones I haven't. And here I'm showing the two windows side by side. You can see that it's not just like pretending to switch scenes, it's actually switching scenes in OBS. So this is how it works. I don't currently have that set up on my laptop because the Stream Decks are connected to the streaming rig, but just believe me that it works well. Okay, So that was that. What else are we talking about? Maybe just a very quick look at Benable. Any dropped frames? No. That's good. Yeah. So I have two GH5Ss. They're with me. They're running the face cam. Okay, so let's actually just go through them. Face cam is GH5S. Uh, booth cam. Booth cam button is dead. Oh no! What are we gonna do? So when you rename scenes, it doesn't just. I renamed it from booth cam to booth. Well, the cam just picked that up magically. Okay, let's try this again. Booth cam, which is pretty much the same thing as the face cam, just a much wider view. So that's on a clamp. My face cam is on a tripod. So in case anyone's into photography, booth cam 6mm, so 12mm full frame equivalent. Face cam is probably too tight. I just didn't bring enough lenses because I was running out of weight allowance in my check-in. I already brought 30 kilos of gear. I didn't want to bring extra lenses as well. So the face cam is a 17 Laowa 17 f1.8. So that's a 34mm full frame equivalent. Like I said, 6mm f2, but neither of them are set to their widest aperture. So those are the two. No, actually, I'm lying. Currently, the booth cam is on a GH5 regular, but it doesn't really make a difference. So where did I stick my GH5S? I suppose it is the stage left cam. Here's also my collection of my collection of Hoka runners. So this is, I'm trying to look at the model number from really far away. But anyway, when at the expo, this would be a camera mounted high up with a 10mm, so a 20mm full frame equivalent, Laowa f2.0. But now I just have it as a dummy input just to check system stability because I have a small overclock applied. So Laowa 10mm, and then this is what I'm calling stage right, but I have it set to monochrome and sitting on a sofa because I couldn't be fucked. Setting up yet another clamp. Just believe me that in real life, next week, this will be high up, showing stage right, because I mentioned in the last stream already, the selection of booths at Computex is somewhat decided by random draw, and I believe this year G-Skill will have a giant pillar in the middle, so I don't know if it'll be two competitors on the right, one competitor on the left, or one competitor on the right and two competitors on the left, but it's absolutely critical to have two cameras now because of that pillar. Last year I kind of got away with one camera, but I was always planning to have two anyway, so radio. What else is there to talk about? Yeah, so that's the cameras. Is there a fourth camera I'm somehow missing? I guess that is the GH5 Mark II was the stage right camera because I had it set to monochrome for photography. So Mark II, GH5 regular, GH5S number 1, and GH5S number 2. Okay, so that's the camera bodies. This is I can just go, what is it? Stream rig. So here's the Beneville link. Yeah, and I have a fifth camera, which is the second GH5 Mark 1, but I left that at home because I didn't want to lug it around. I didn't really have a use for it. I mean, technically I only need 3 cameras, but I want a booth cam for interviews so the face cam can stay on me and doesn't have to be moved around, so the guest is in view. So I think 4 was sort of the minimum. 5 would have been nice, but yeah, I was already dragging around way too much gear. Okay, so the 6mm, like I said, is the booth cam lens. The 7.5 I left at home along with the fifth camera. So I've 2 copies of the 10mm for the 2 angles of the stage. Laowa 17 is the face cam. I actually at home use the Argus 18, but it's a very heavy lens because it's an f0.95. So 500 grams, I wasn't gonna chance that. The macro I left at home because I'm not going to be doing any soldering or anything. And the Nightwalker I only just bought, so that's sitting at home in a package. And then the stream rig, which I don't actually have a camera on. The closest thing would be the stage left cam, I suppose. Here's a stream rig in the small ITX case. I think it's a 7-liter case. Yeah, so it's got a Magewell Pro capture in it. It's got a Unisheen. Why does it say 2025? I don't want. That's just stupid. Capture card, video capture card, whatever all other kind of capture card is there. Some of this is like AI detected and stuff in this bendable thing. Yes, the main capture card is the quad input Magewell. That's going to be for the 3 competitors, and the 4th input will remain empty. Or I guess I'll capture the laptop on that. So I'll have a clean split between the 2 capture cards. I'll have 3 competitor rigs and my own rig being captured on the first capture card, the Magewell, which is more expensive, actively cooled, higher quality, higher reliability. But the Unisheen is really good as well. The Unisheen, those 4 inputs will be occupied by the 4 cameras. J-Crate I left at home. I was tempted to bring them. The Magewell single input, yeah, it's not worth the one input, one 1080p input. I don't have a free slot in my case anyway, so yeah. And the board is the X870i AM5 chips 8700G, which I'm using for compositing and encoding, display out obviously, and then the CPUs and stuff I guess for just running the drivers and whatever else. It's kind of incorrect. I have old 2021 MDI that's identifies as 2x16GB MDI, but it's not this exact SKU. It's not ES either, but yeah, it's just something weird. And then here's the SFX power supply, really nice. Even matches the case in white and the board. And then just a random 1TB SSD where I haven't bothered to pick out a picture for it. And then obviously the monitor is at home. That's the flat 34-inch 120Hz USB-C ProArt, high color accuracy. And then the Dell is probably not as good in terms of color accuracy, but still pretty good, and it does 120Hz as well. And then matching the case, the board, and the PSU is this 53mm height thermal right. And then here's my Stream Decks. The mount is at home, the arm is at home, the speakers are at home, obviously. The video light I've left at home. Usually the lighting, one's adjusted for with white balance adjustment, which if people aren't familiar with that whole concept, this is like a super cheap AliExpress type thing, but it's really cool because first of all you can scrunch it up like this and gets quite small, and you can just put it in your luggage. But then it folds out again, and it's got 2 sides. I don't know what the red staining is on here, but anyway, it's got what they call in photography or videography called middle gray. This color is a very specific color. It's like from memory, is it 21% gray or something? So like what would that be? 79% white and 21% gray. This is actually the sort of international standard off of which they base exposure calculations on cameras or whatever. So if you're ever in doubt as to whether your exposure is off, you can actually just put that that gray in front of the camera and use your spot meter function on your camera, which you hopefully have, to meter off of that gray, and that will give you perfect exposure. Because people might be familiar with the whole thing of like if a scene contains a lot of white, like a scene with snow in it. What is it? How does it go again? You get overexposure, whereas if a scene contains a lot of dark areas, you might get underexposure, or is it the other way around? I don't know. But like because you have to settle on some sort of standard, right? And what they settled on is gray because like it's kind of the average of all colors. It's not perfect, right? Like ideally you'd have some sort of algorithm built into your camera that dynamically sort of determines how much gray, black, white, and colors there are in the scene, and then the the metering algorithm is dynamically adjusted according to that or whatever. But we're not there yet. We might get there at some point, but like even a film camera or whatever, essentially this is what you meter off of. And then for white balance, which is not a thing for film because film is naturally either tungsten balanced or daylight balanced. Um, but a digital camera sensor actually has quite a bit of trouble sometimes determining what is white in a scene because it just doesn't know. That's just how a sensor works. And you can use auto white balance, and it's quite good these days. But within the mixed lighting scene, like here I have daylight and I have like what do you call it, like an LED light lamp here, which is out of frame. If you've got mixed lighting like that, it can get confused sometimes. But if you just put pure white, which is what this is, if it weren't dirty, I suppose I need to get a new one. Like eventually, this will not be pure white anymore because of aging. But this is a pure white piece of like nylon or whatever. If you put that in the actual scene that you're trying to capture, and then again sort of spot meter, but it's not spot metering. It's custom white balance function on your camera. If you custom white balance off of this white, it's guaranteed to be on point. I haven't done that, but for the actual stream, I suppose I will. How did I get onto that tangent? Okay, so I've got two of these Alanzi clamps. I kind of like. I almost want to get rid of my small rig clamp because the Alanzi clamps have what the small rig doesn't have, which is a little arm that comes off of it. So you can kind of raise your camera off of the mount point to some degree at least, which I find handy. And then you can maybe even avoid obstacles by having the arm sideways. It's really cool. So the Olanzi is the way to go. Was that everything? Oh, audio. Yeah, I'm talking into the. I should probably show that scene. I'm talking into the E945, but I do have another one connected. So this will be the guest mic with a different windscreen, a red color, so it's easy to know without having to trace back the XLR cable. And there's my audio interface, Steinberg. It's amazing. And then obviously there's my beautiful somewhat passively noise cancelled Audio-Technica M50X headphone. Again, a little bit like the windshields on the microphones. I decided to go with two different colors, so they're easy to keep apart. Hopefully next year when Matt can make it, we'll have, as I mentioned on the last stream, there's two separate headphone outs with two separate volume controls, so it's pretty cool that way. The PCLK button stopped working. So what are you up to, Exa, in terms of frequency? So yeah, pretty nice. Closed. Is this closed or semi-closed? I don't know. If people are into their Headify, they'll probably know. So like a closed headphone, strap is nicely adjustable and stuff. Cable is user replaceable. Came with 3.5 millimeter and 6.3 mil adapters, and it came with different lengths of cable and stuff. That's pretty much it. But now that Mac can make it 6707. Okay, I'll have to look at the rankings because I really am so far out of the loop. I don't know why the video is looking so washed out. It was looking even more washed out, and then I applied a color profile called Vivid, and still all my cameras are looking washed out. I mean, this is looking kind of okay-ish. The blue in the shoes is popping, at least on my screen. Anyway, third global. Congrats, that's pretty good. So I've sort of lost track. Are you in Taiwan right now, or are you in Canada? Is that where you're from? Subbed on Saturday. Yeah, I haven't been keeping up. Let's see. I think that's literally everything. But let's have a quick look at the rankings while we have Exa in the chat. Need more beer. Oh, there's been a need more beer sub. Wow. On Smithfield. We got to check that out. First place. Oh, 6 points. Now I'm getting hungry, of course. Let's have some dried hawthorn. Hmm. 500 watt single core. 6.6 seems high. 1.85 only, but 90 millimeter, nanometer. I mean. But did they sub something else that's like higher points, or is this chip just? Because it's an extreme edition. Yeah, there's not many subs. Everything's 6 harbor points. 6.6 is also the valid. Okay. Yeah. Sadly, Matt had to cancel that at late notice, so it's a shame. Both in terms of what we can do with the stream now, and for him obviously as well. Yeah. But yeah, so Matt isn't able to make it, but I knew that before I left home, so I brought a slightly reduced set of gear, and now the second mic and the second headset will be for guests. Yeah, on Sunday. Cool. That's not so far away. Okay, what rankings do I want to look at? Oh, Surge has it. I didn't even see that. Surge has it and High Cookie second. So cores are dominating. Then Lancer in second. I'm guessing you're on the Apex? Because hold on. Is that a bug? I thought I just hit X as a sub. Why did it open Salties? Oh, OCF? No. Oh, an ASRock theme being used for a tacky sub. That's a bit tacky. Haha. Okay. 1500 TRC. I love it. What's the deal with like 3T and 4T on DDR5? Are they a thing? I like your new or your like custom what do you call it? Nuts or whatever, the green ones. So you're using Splaves. I haven't tried Splaves paste. Are you using that both on the CPU and the RAM? Obviously down to one channel. And that dual tachyon, is that any good? Like, have you gotten a sample or whatever? I only just found out that that was a thing. Oh, you went to the Wayland. Nice. What was the concept between? Yeah, ads. I really have to sort out the ads thing. There's so many of them. Um, what I was going to ask is like, is 3T and 4T, is that a thing on DDR5? I assume not because I never see it in any subs. And the other thing I was going to ask was, are you using splaves paste on both the CPU and the memory pod? And the other thing was, I don't really. I saw the ads that Splave put up for Whale Land, but what was like the concept? What was it called? The Whale Land. Your retail CPU is a yes. Is that a typo? So yeah, you're using an ES. Um, I've heard that that new SKU, the 265K or whatever, is like better across the board, right? Like it's better bin, it's better IMC, it's better whatever. What else is there? Oh, have you tried the once you squish it, it works. Okay. Have you tried the new Tachyon, that dual thing? Like, I mean, I assume it's just like a marketing thing where they want to promote the fact that it can do double capacity RAM or whatever. But is it actually physically better for like valids? Hmm. Cookie isn't using it, but then again, this sub is from December. It may not have been out. The only reason I knew it existed was because the live qualifier for Computex, the rules are out, and it said, "Oh, there's like two different Tachyon SKUs listed." And I'm like, I didn't even know that there were two different SKUs. Oh, marketing stickers. Yeah, that sounds about right. So how old is Surge? Surge is still from November. I would have thought, wow, there would be, and that's them together in Taiwan. So like, maybe that was a sandbag from even earlier in the year. I would have thought there would be movement on memory frequency. Where is it? So it's all. That was what Salty was saying as well when he was a guest on the news show. So it's all Tachyon at the top now. So do you have any issues finding retail Tachyon in Canada, or um, like did you have to like use a shipping forwarder or something? No, Salty is probably sandbagging it. Yeah, okay. So that's on Attacky too. That's on Attacky. Oh, Mr. Zeus himself is the first one on an Apex. Oh, but this is an extremely old score because it's using 285, right? Hmm. Now I'm gonna check to see if they're all on 265s. No, that's 285 as well. So maybe MC isn't that much better than people make it out to be. Right. Okay. Maybe another quick little look at. I'm liking the fact that first of all, internet hasn't. Probably gonna jinx it, but after I reduce the upload by 2 megabit, they can order one. Okay, so it's like it's almost like not made to order, but like stocked to order. Um, Makes sense. I wonder what that even costs retail these days. So what I was gonna say was, I'm also liking that my little overclock is doing well. Um, so it's like a really mild overclock. Actually, on the iGPU, it's pretty high, but then again, I'm not stressing the iGPU that much. So the iGPU stock is 2900 megahertz, and I have it at 33 now. And the RAM still auto timings. I just haven't had the motivation. But I've PBO'd the CPU and RAM, I've just increased the multi from 48x to 62. 64 was erring in Y Cruncher, which probably would have been still okay for streaming, but I don't want to take any unnecessary risks. Oh, so this is on GTX 2s. Is there a good? No, there's no bench. Of course, because it's need more beer. There's always um, no rig pick. Why is there so many updates from Leaguehoofed? Okay, let's look at the comp thread, because that's reasonably recent news as well. And then I might call it. I mean, I'm still feeling my voice being gone a bit, so, and I obviously need to save it for 4 straight days of casting on my own next week. Holy shit. There is no thread. I thought there was. Oh, that's right. It's been configured as a comp, but it hasn't been put in a thread. Now I remember. Or has it been taken down again? No. Live qualifier. No earplugs allowed. Did someone actually try that? Like having benching tips fed into their ears? No smartphones allowed. No lapped CPUs. That's a good rule. There's certainly a way of, yeah, you can. I think I've never like tried it, obviously, because what's the point? But there's a way of sort of bugging out CPU Z to show ESS retail, and then if it's lapped, how you're going to be able to tell. Okay. So yeah, the big news was the Evolve stage. Yeah, this is how I saw that there's a new TACCon. What are we at? Half an hour. Okay, yeah. I mean, at least I sort of know, all my cameras are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And feeding the laptop in is certainly seems to work okay. I'm still tempted to get like a big pair of scissors and undo the tie down on the TV screen. Yeah, no PE. What's the thing with that? Oh, well, that's kind of just an offshoot from the fact that you're not allowed to bring like a USB stick with stuff on it, right? Like, since the OS is judge supplied and they're just supplying Windows 11 images, like, where would the PE come from? You're not allowed to bring a smartphone or a USB stick. All right. Okay. This is affecting my voice more than I thought it would. I'm feeling well though, so that's the main thing. So I'm now gonna pretend to be an opera diva and rest my voice for the rest of the day and hang out with some people at G Skills. So this is the hotel that G Skill booked for me, and not the. I'm trying to think. Not the competitors. I think they pay for their own travel, but the behind the scenes people, a lot of them get booked here. So I saw Loud Silence and Shaggy and Bastian this morning. They were leaving for G Skill office, and I might just chill for a bit and then go there too, and maybe just have a bit of an informal meeting with G Skill, see what questions they have, see what questions I have. We'll start get the. I mean, we've been in contact, obviously, virtually, but get the process rolling in earnest, let's say. Hopefully I don't have to do much talking. I'm gonna definitely throw in a recola straight away when I stop the stream. Um, but yeah, I literally checked in last night. I wasn't feeling well. I set up all my cameras and microphones and things this morning, ran, Windows updates and whatever else. Now I kind of have stuff statically here. I mean, I don't think I'd get away for 10 days, nor would I want to, keeping the do not disturb sign up. But I think if I sort of make it visually clear that this part of the room shouldn't be touched, I think it'll stay up. So then it's just a question of configuring Stream Decks and just maybe what do you call it? Fine tuning the stream rig OC a little bit, and it is a bit concerning when I touch the top of the case. It feels a bit hotter than it kind of should be, but then again, that's where the PSU sits. So I'm like, I mean, in an effort to keep it as light as possible, as uncomplicated as possible, as clean from a cable management perspective as possible, um, and as low noise as possible. Actually, um, the fan on the PSU is, I think, 0 RPM, only spins when it needs to. And then there's just the CPU fan, that's it. There's no case fan. And there's quite a lot of. Let me pull up the AliExpress listing actually. And I should add that to my Beneville. That's the last thing I'll do on the stream. My orders. How far back did I order this bloody thing? Here we go. So 109 Aussie dollars. So it's like a cheapo thing. Turn off the noise. Yeah, so it's got it's got the mesh on all sides, bottom, top, certainly left and right. Obviously not back because that's where the I/O is, and front is kind of a solid piece of metal. But like on how many sides would there be? 6 sides. Out of 6 sides, it's got ventilation holes on 4 out of the 6. I don't know what the point of this video is. Oh, why did it mute itself? Or it yeah, it's pretty good. It's in terms of really really small cases, I like it, and I love the handle at the top. It's gonna be so handy. I mean, I don't necessarily expect to carry the rig to and from Computex every day. I hope that the booth will lock, and I also have like a Pelican case that I can put a lock on. So worst case scenario, I can lock my cameras and the rig in there, but ideally I'd love to keep it just set up, and then off you go. Yeah, I don't know what I can do about placement with this camera. Not that it sort of matters. I'm finding it sort of odd. Like the perfectionist in me is like, what the fuck is wrong with the skin tones right now on this camera? Like maybe I need to actually spend the time and do what I described earlier, which is the custom white balance radio. Yeah, so how should we do this? I am keen to get suggestions from people for. I mean, there's obviously a lot planned already for the stream, but if there's like a specific idea people have to make the stream more fun, basically just drop me a line on Discord, I suppose. Yeah, radio. Thanks for watching. I probably stream almost every day because it's so hot outside, and I'm not sort of willing to spend all day every day at the G Skill office, and I have a bit of a weird sleep schedule right now anyway. So yeah, I might do a morning stream pretty much every day, and maybe an early sort of FYI is we'll do at least one pre-stream with Matt remotely, and that'll be on Saturday. I don't know what all the timings are, but it's like it's going to be he said Saturday, so that's Saturday US time, so it'll be 7 a.m. time Taiwan time Sunday morning, 7 p.m. Eastern. And then what does that work out for as for Europe? Yeah, I think for Europe it's really bad. It's gonna be the middle of the night. So yeah, that would be fun. Anyway, until tomorrow, I guess.